ลับเข้ามาในช่วงนี้นะคะอาเซียนอินเทอร์วิวค่ะเดี๋ยวจะพาคุณผู้ชมนะคะไปดูเรื่องราวนะคะสถานการณ์ของผู้ลี้ภัยชาวเมียนมานะคะตอนนี้ถือว่ายังกลับประเทศยังไม่เป็นที่น่าพอใจสักเท่าไหร่นะคะรายละเอียดของเรื่องนี้นะคะจะเป็นอย่างไรเดี๋ยวเราต้องไปติดตามชมกันค่ะ
The UN Myanmar investigator said on Sunday, July 8th, that conditions in Myanmar were not conducive for the repatriation of Rohingya refugees. YANGHEE Lee spoke at a news conference in Dhaka on the situation of human rights of the Rohingya crisis, dismissing concerns that recognizing Rohingyas as refugees would not allow them to repatriate. Muslim Rohingyas continue to flee Myanmar's Rakhine state, many testifying about violence, persecution, killings and burnings of their homes by soldiers and Buddhists.
They're going to be here. They're not going to be repatriated to Myanmar anytime in the near future. Why? Because the conditions in Myanmar is not conducive for their return. This is why. This is so sadly why.
Among others, you have also heard about
and some of the concerns that by giving them the title or recognizing these people as refugees, that they will not be able to repatriate. The Myanmar government will not take them back. That is not so. Every human being has a right to return. And each time anybody crosses their country borderline for reasons of persecution of whatever form, they are recognized as refugees. Sexual and gender-based violence. As people, it is a right of every individual person to self-identify. If they want to identify as Rohingyas, I think it should be respected. This issue in Myanmar. However, it is apparent to me that some very concerning trends, because Myanmar is a sovereign state. China is not the guardian of Myanmar. Nevertheless, the protector of Myanmar. I think Myanmar should make its own independent decisions, because Myanmar should not get away with their atrocities. And if people will be relocated to an island or another country without having those perpetrators held accountable, that should not be done. And this is what I mean, enough is enough. And once you do that, the next step they're going to move on to is the other ethnic areas, which they've already started to do. The government authorities know that there are violations going on inside the camp, be it physical, be it robbery, petty theft, be it domestic violence, killing. Okay, so they know this, and they are very concerned about this, and they are working with the local community refugees and other UN actors to provide some solutions and to find answers to this. Thank you very much.
So far this year, 11,432 have arrived in Bangladesh, where more than 700,000 have fled since August 2017, the military crackdown then in Myanmar's northern Rakhine state. This comes from the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva, Representative ZEID AL-HUSSEIN.
Moreover, thousands of Rohingya people continue to flee Rakhine state. As of mid-June, there have been 11,432 new arrivals in Bangladesh in 2018. All the newly arrived refugees who have been interviewed by OHCHR described continuing violence, persecution, and human rights violations include killings and the burning of Rohingya homes. No amount of rhetoric can whitewash these facts. People are still fleeing persecution in Rakhine and are even willing to risk dying at sea to escape. In reality, however, the NVCs mark the Rohingya as non-citizens in keeping with the government's characterization of them as foreigners in their own homeland. Many refugees interviewed by my staff have said unbearable pressure was placed on them to accept the NVCs.
Cha Mo-tun, who's the Director General of Myanmar's Foreign Ministry, had said a top priority for his government was to find a sustainable solution in Rakhine. It had agreed with Bangladesh in January 2018 that repatriation would be completed in 2 years, and he said this without using the word Rohingya.
Finding sustainable solution on the issue of Rakhine is one of the top priorities of our government. When the situation in northern Rakhine has been the focus of much international attention, the narrative related to it has very sadly been incomplete and misleading, and verified allegations had been reported as facts, resulting in perceptions that aggravated the whole situation.
และนี่แหละค่ะคุณผู้ชมคะก็คือเรื่องราวนะคะของอาเซียนชาเลนจ์ที่เราสองคนได้นำมาฝากกันแต่น่าเสียดายนะคะวันนี้เวลาก็ได้หมดลงแล้วเราสองคนรวมถึงทีมงานก็ต้องขอตัวลาไปก่อนสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ